guys, today's from the install bay. We have a Ford F-150 and we got a lot of cool things going on inside of it, so stay tuned. So what we have here today is an F-150. A lot of you guys have F-150s out there and have asked us to do something with an F-150. So here we have an F-150. Now the cool thing about this one is it has a Sony system in it, which is allowing us to use this guy right here. This is the new Amp Pro from Pac, and what this is going to allow us to do is get a preamp section out of the factory radio. So we don't have to use any summing devices, we don't have to use any high-level or low-level adapters. All we have to do is plug this thing in, and we get 5 volts of output, front, rear, and sub. Let's get started. When doing this install, you do have to leave the factory amplifier in, but you sure as heck don't have to leave the factory subwoofer, so we're pulling that thing out. So with this F-150, the whole reason why we're doing this system is to get rid of this guy here. This is the factory Sony amplifier. This thing sounds terrible. As a matter of fact, the whole thing sounds terrible. Now, the problem we've had in the past is that you have to leave this in here. This is an integral part of the car. This is the data bus in the car talks to this amplifier, so it needs to stay. What's unique about this system, which isn't too unique anymore, is that the factory radio puts out 2 channels of fixed volume output, meaning it's a left and right and it's a fixed volume. It goes into this amplifier, and then the data bus turns, when you turn the volume up and down up front, tells this to turn up or down. So all that is done here in the amplifier. It also is where the GPS comes through, the chime comes through, and anything that makes sound in the car passes through this amplifier. So, and it also has multiple channel output. It's got a dual voice Gold Subwoofer, it's got tweeters, it's got mid-range for the doors, it's got rear. So you got to sum all that stuff together in order to get a good sound. And then if you don't put the right amount of resistance on the amplifier just loses control of itself and produces all kinds of crazy high frequency noise. So it's like a nightmare, and you have to put some form of an aftermarket EQ in there just to make it sound right. Well, today all that stops, and that's why this truck is actually in here, because we have this guy right here. This is the Pac Audio Amp Pro. Now what this is designed to do is, with this cool T-harness here that's going to plug in behind the radio, is give us these. That's right, 6-channel, 5-volt preamp output. Awesome. So we have a front, a rear, and a subwoofer. Now the other cool thing about this is it comes with a bass knob. So you don't even need one for the amplifier. You can use this guy's bass knob. Now the bass knob is also a multi-purpose tool, so it is used for some of the programming in this, so you do have to plug it in. If your amp has a bass knob, that's fine. You can use that one. Just put this one somewhere where you can get to it. Now, it also will generate a cool remote turn on. So basically what this is doing is taking your cool factory Sony radio and turning it into the aftermarket features that you wanted. Preamp output. So this goes behind the radio, so we need to go ahead and get the radio out. So for this install, we're going to do some Phoenix Gold Elite 65 CSs. Now these are components. Each one of them comes in one of these cool little eyeglass cleaner style bag. You have a crossover, really nice tweeter, and of course the mid bass right here. Got little push terminals on it. The reason why we're going with 6.5s instead of the normal 6x9s that come in the F-150 is that we wanted to do a high-end component up front. Normally we just use a set of 6x9 adapters for the car, but since we're not going to do the 6x9s, we'll just go ahead and make a set for 6.5 specifically. So for this install, we're going to obviously need a 6.5-inch hole. Now we need to make it an inch on either side, so we're making the bottom plate is going to be a 1/2 inch, and then we're going to add these. These are 1/2 inch, 6.5-inch spacers. Now of course you can router these out all you want, or you could just buy them from Best Kits. It's a BKSG 650DX. They're really nice, they're well built, very rigid. We can also use it as our template. So we're just going to screw this on here, router this out, take them apart, and finish it up. So now the only thing we need to do is knock down this to 1/4 inch, and we're all set. In case you're wondering, yes, they are orange, but that's okay because we're going to cover them all up in Roadkill, so you won't even see the color that they are. So we're not real worried about that. Alright, so we got a little bit of foam here, and we got a little bit of foam here. Now I'm going to give this one to Fernando because he's waiting for me. Put your what? Yeah. So as we've said many times, getting the phase correct when you're installing speakers is very important. And if you have a raw driver like this that doesn't have positive and negative located anywhere on the back to make it easy, something like having this. This is the PT9A speaker phase detector from Mobile Solutions. What this allows you to do is simply clip on, and then it'll emit a popping sound. In the end, here's a little microphone. Just put it towards it. If it lights up green, it's in phase. If it lights up red, it's out of phase. So now you'll know which colors are positive and negative.
Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So the amp we're going to use in this install is the Phoenix Gold TI2 1605. Comes with the bass knob. Now one of the cool things about this amplifier is it does have clip indicators for clip front, sub, and rear on the amplifier, so it does make setting it up a little easier. So what we've gone ahead and built is this amp rack here that's going to screw into these two factory bolts that the subwoofer was attached to. So what we have to mount on here is obviously the amp and the two crossovers. Okay, so for this install we're going to use Stinger wire and Stinger RCAs, because if you buy a Phoenix Gold and use Stinger wire, you get a longer warranty because they're both owned by the same company. Now, I know you've seen us use these RCAs in videos before, and one thing you may not know is they're actually directional. Somewhere down here in this barely legible white writing, it says signal direction and has arrows. So in this case, this is the radio side, and then this side here is going to be the amp side. Now, because we tape all these up, what I like to do is just go ahead and go down to the ends, because on the RCAs they actually say S, R, and F for sub, front, and rear. So I like to mark on the tips as well, because sometimes these will get unplugged for service or whatever, and then you gotta like trace it, so it's just easier. Another thing that you might want to do when plugging the RCA in, because that's typically where all the controls are, is go ahead and turn the gains all the way down. Some amplifier manufacturers ship their amps with the gains turned all the way up or halfway or whatever. Just turn them down. There's no reason to first power up a system and have the gains just killing it.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So Ford went ahead and in the F-150s made them out of aluminum. However, the frame is still made out of steel, and there's a ton of ground straps that come off of the frame and go to the aluminum part of the car. I'm not a fan of grounding to aluminum. I just think it's a bad idea. So what we do is we drill a hole through, bring the 4-gauge out, and attach it to the frame. So that's what we're going to do now. Some people may argue this and say, hey, that's overkill, you don't need to do this, it's perfectly safe. Whatever. Do it once, do it right, do it, you know what I mean. You guys watch these, you know how it is. Alright, so let's take a look at that. Okay, so what we have here is the hole that we've drilled, and where we want to connect it to is this guy right here. We're gonna drill a hole in that, put a bolt, and connect it. But the first thing we have to do is we have to waterproof this. And for that, we're gonna use this stuff called 3M strip caulk. Now what 3M strip caulk is a black gooey stuff that it really never dries, which is kind of nice. So it's like a clay almost, just sticky as all get out. And you can form it into any shape you need, and it's pretty much going to stay that way, and it'll stick to dirt and grime, and you just keep pushing it and filling in all the little crevices. So now you have a nice waterproof spot through the firewall. Now if you'd like, you can also put some more GM strip caulk around where you just drilled. That way you can keep it from rusting or anything like that. For this install, we're doing 2 Phoenix Gold 12-inch SXT subwoofers underneath the back seat. So in the F-150s, we like to mount the bass knob right here on this nice flat panel here. Now the nice thing about this bass knob is it comes with 2 nuts so that you can adjust the depth so you don't have this thing sticking out of the dash too far. You can have a nice flush bass knob looking really sharp. Now, a lot of you guys asked before, you're like, hey, you used the butt connector. In a previous video we did. We don't actually use the butt connectors. What we're using is a bullet connector. Yes, we are crimping it on, but the thing of it is we need to be able to remove this at some point. So we want some form of a connector, just in case we need to pull this whole thing out. So it is, yes, you butt connect it on, but it is a connector. It suits a purpose. So now we have to test the output of the radio and see where it clips. And of course, we're using the DD1. So the Amp Pro didn't disappoint at all in this. It didn't clip when we maxed out the volume, which is pretty amazing. So way to go, Pac. Very nice. Now the cool thing about the Phoenix Gold amplifiers is that they actually have, like we showed you earlier, the clip light indicators. So we're going to go ahead and just use those instead of the DD1 for this test. So we have the output of the radio checked for clipping, and we're good there. We have the amps output for clipping, so we're good there. Now we're just going to sit down and listen to it and see how it sounds. Now when we do the first listen, we like to listen to it without the subwoofers attached. That way we can make sure that the mid-bass is playing mid-bass. So I'm going to go flick a switch. I want you to tell me if you hear any difference.
Wow, that's good.
Let's go back. Let's play something rocky.
That's good.
So what do you think?
That's good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? Pac Pro will win?
Yes.
Pac Pro for the win! Touchdown!
Yeah, Phoenix Gold.
Phoenix Gold.
That
All
was
right.
pass of the Phoenix Gold.
Yeah. All right, guys. This has been fun. We hope you enjoyed it. Pac Pro is definitely it's a must-have. So if you've got one of these Sony systems, by all means, yeah, kick ass. Ooh, did I say that?
Yes, you said that.
All right, whatever. So, to recap, Pac Pro, Phoenix Gold 5 channels, TI2 mids and highs, some SXT 12-inch subs underneath the back seat. For all you guys that are curious. Amp rack was made out of 1/4-inch Sentra. The doors were made out of 1/2-inch Sentra, along with some ABS to throw in there. You guys like to know all these things, so I'm telling you. Anything else you can think of? No, that's about it.
Yeah.
Make sure you join us on Mondays for our Facebook Lives. They are 6:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Uh-huh.
How many days a week do we do these?
5 days a week.
That's right. So that is non-stop. Okay, well, except for Saturday and Sunday. But hey, a guy needs to get some sleep sometimes, all right? If you have any questions about this video, you guys know what to do. I don't even need to say that. You're going to do it anyways.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, well, let's wrap this up so they can get home.
Alright, so thank you for watching. You guys can find us on Facebook, here, and YouTube, and of course in Instagram.
That's right. You guys have a great night, and we will see you later next time. Bye.